welcome to our special broadcast on Times Now on the Maharashtra polls. You're watching Election Yatra, which is your one-stop destination to all the action in the run-up to Maharashtra polls. As we traverse through Maharashtra, we're getting you the political voices, the netas, the candidates, the stalwarts, but also people's voice, which is the most important, that matters the most. And today our Election Yatra has reached the Karad constituency. With just about a week to go to voting day, both the Mahayuti and the Mahavikas Aghadi are pulling out all the stops to woo the voters. BJP's tallest leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, are leading the campaign for the Mahayuti. One constituency that the BJP will be looking to make a big impact on is the South Karad seat. A battleground seat in the Satara region, this constituency has never elected a BJP MLA. In the fray this time are familiar adversaries, Prithviraj Chavan of the Congress and Atul Bhosle of the BJP, both popularly known in the constituency as Baba. This is also a repeat of the 2019 electoral contest where Prithviraj Chavan won a close fight. Former Chief Minister of Maharashtra Prithviraj Chavan is eyeing hat-trick from Karad constituency, which falls under Satara, which is politically very active. Currently, Satara is represented by BJP MP, who is also a descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Udayan Raje Bhosle. Prithviraj Chavan in the conversation with us admits that the Congress should have contested on more seats. He is also hitting out at the BJP, saying BJP is polarizing the polls. For a constituency that has had a strong Congress legacy, with veteran leaders Yashwant Rao Mohite and Vilas Rao Patil Undalkar holding the seat in the past, this is a must-win battle for the former Maharashtra CM. Former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Prithviraj Chavan, is joining us on the broadcast. He's contesting from Karad. Thank you very much for giving us your time. Is it going to be a hat-trick this time?
Well, you cannot predict what people have in mind. I'm quite sure of winning. But hat-trick and other things are just a way of putting things. I think whether we continue to enjoy the trust of the people, that is the key thing. And I think I do whatever work I've done for the Karad constituency while I was a CM, the last 10 years as a MLA. I think people realize what I've done and they are not going to experiment with new possible. We've
seen MBA's performance, and it was better in the Lok Sabha elections, especially in Haryana and Maharashtra. But then the assembly elections in Haryana took everyone by surprise. Do you think the situation is different when it comes to Maharashtra?
Yes, it is, because Haryana, the Lok Sabha result, if you analyze, is quite close. It was 5-5. So we did not decisively win Lok Sabha in Haryana. But we were expecting to win and do better in assembly. We failed to do that, although vote percentages were quite close. In Maharashtra, we got 65% of the seats, and the opposition, BJP, only got 35% seats. The gap in the Lok Sabha result, if you compare Haryana with Maharashtra, is a huge difference. Now, will people who voted 65% of the seats for MVA not give a majority this time also? That's a question. I think we will get a same majority or even better majority that we got in the Lok Sabha election of 24.
Let me ask you one last question. Do you think the Congress should have contested on more seats?
Yes, of course, we should have, but after all, it's an alliance, three parties, and three parties had to agree. We had a better chance in more seats, definitely. I think many seats were considered to our allies, which we could have fought it a better way and won, definitely. But that's now over. I mean, the alliance talks are over, seat sharing has been done, candidate has been announced. A few places there are rebels. We're trying to ask them to withdraw. But I think whatever the outcome of the seat sharing talks, I think we will win the election in November 20th.
Will the rebels hurt prospects of the MV?
Of course, in certain cases it will. But very few, not too many.
Thank you very much for giving us your time, and all the best to you. Thank you, sir. The South Karad seat may have never elected a BJP MLA, but that's not stopping the party from deploying their biggest guns for the electoral campaign. Karad lies at the confluence of the Krishna and the Koyna River, and the importance of this seat can be judged by the fact that the Home Minister Amit Shah himself campaigned here in Karad for the BJP candidate, where he revived his appeasement attack on the Congress party. In the 2019 Assembly elections, Atul Bhosle came a close second to Prithviraj Chavan, going behind by just a vote share of a meager 4%, which amounts to roughly 9,000 votes. No wonder then that the BJP has decided to field Atul Bhosle, an MBBS graduate, for a third straight battle against Prithviraj Chavan from South Karad. We are now joined by Dr. Atul Bhosle. He's contesting from Karad South constituency. He's a BJP leader. Thank you very much for giving us your time. And this is your third time against Prithviraj Chavan. Will the outcome be different this time around?
Definitely, whatever work we have done in the BJP government time, the Mahayuti government in Maharashtra has performed exceptionally in the last 2.5 years. There are a lot of women-centric schemes which have been implemented. It has benefited a large sect of society, and also a lot of developmental funds have been given to this particular constituency for development of roads, for development of Karad Stadium, which is supposed to be a very important issue as far as people of Karad city are concerned. 750 crores have been sanctioned by the state government for a lot of developmental works.
Right, so you're saying that the development work will turn the tide in your favor. Let me ask you about the Home Minister's campaign. He was here, he campaigned for you, and during that time he took a jibe at Prithviraj Chavan. He said that not enough has been done for Karad. We spoke to him and he has given us a counter. His counter is that he brought several projects to Karad. He's also challenged the BJP. He says BJP is the party that has taken industries and projects away from Maharashtra to Gujarat. How do you respond to that?
I feel the respectable ex-chief minister should introspect what he has done in the past 10 years. After he was being elected as MLA from this constituency in 2014, he was MLA from 2014 to 19, from 19 to 23. We are continuously asking him, what is your report card from 2019 to 2024? 2.5 years of Mahavikas Aghadi government was there in Maharashtra. You say you are a senior leader, you are a leader of stature. We have nothing to say against it. But in those 2.5 years, was any developmental fund brought to Karad South constituency? We are saying we have bought 750 crores with proof for Karad South constituency development. So they are not even challenging or arguing on those facts. You are stating that you have bought developmental funds before 2014. People have already voted for you in 2014. They have voted for you in 2019. So now in 2024, if you are stating what funds you have bought in 2014, people have already voted for you 2 times. And so in these 5 years, they have not been able to do any kind of developmental work.
For the Congress party, this is a legacy battle they cannot afford to lose. For the BJP, they see opportunity to expand its footprint in the Satara region, following its victory here in the Lok Sabha polls. So who will come out on top in this battle for prestige? Today we are taking you to the Parli constituency in Beed district, the hometown of BJP stalwart late Gopinath Munde. And in Parli, the fight is directly between both factions of the NCP. When one speaks of the Marathwada region, one cannot ignore the influence of the Marathas. The Maratha quota agitation has remained one of the biggest electoral issues in the last few years, and all sides are vying for a prize of the pie when it comes to the Maratha vote. In the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, it was almost a clean sweep for the Aghadi. 7 out of the 8 Lok Sabha constituencies went to Mahavikas Aghadi and only 1 went to Shinde Shiv Sena. Marathwada, remember, is the epicenter of the Maratha quota agitation, and with 46 assembly constituencies, Marathwada definitely holds the key. Now, the Lok Sabha election results were a shot in the arm for the MVA, but will they be able to maintain the momentum remains to be seen. This region was known to be a Congress stronghold for decades, but the party's influence started to wane from the 70s. The BJP and Shiv Sena managed to make inroads in the region since then, but that was before the Maratha quota factor came into effect. Many believe the polarization of the Maratha, Muslim and Dalit votes in the region hurt the Mahayuti's prospects in 2024 Lok Sabha elections. 7 out of 8 MPs in Marathwada are Marathas. Manoj Jarange Patil has withdrawn from the poll fray after announcing the list of candidates. Now, there are a lot of speculations on what will be the impact of this move. Has the intensity of the agitation reduced? Will this benefit the MVA? Will this impact the prospects of the Mahayuti? This and a lot more. We spoke to Dhananjay Munde, who is the Agriculture Minister of Maharashtra, the sitting MLA from Parli, and also a candidate of the Ajit Pawar faction. In the last 2 assembly elections, the battle in this constituency has been within the Munde family. Dhananjay Munde of the NCP took on Pankaja Munde of the BJP. Both have managed to win 1 election each back when the NCP and BJP were fighting for different alliances. Joining us right now on the broadcast is the Agriculture Minister of Maharashtra. He's the sitting MLA from Parli and once again a candidate from the Parli constituency. Mr. Dhananjay Munde is joining us on the broadcast. बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए.
Thank you.
एनसीपी में बंटवारे के बाद पहला विधानसभा चुनाव, क्या आपको लगता है कोई ये बड़ा फैक्टर है या लोग मुद्दे पर वोट करेंगे?
मुझे लगता है कि इस विधानसभा के चुनाव में कोई बड़ा फैक्टर, जो आपने डिटेल क्वेश्चन तो नहीं पूछा, वो ना काम करेगा. हाँ, मुद्दे होंगे, लेकिन विकास के मुद्दों पे चुनाव होना चाहिए. और हम भी ये चुनाव इस तरीके से सामने ला रहे हैं कि भाई देखिए, हमने 5 साल ये विकास किया है. 5 साल हमने ये हमारे यहाँ के आवाम को ये वचननामा दिया था, और उस 5 साल में हमने सारे के सारे जो दिए हुए वचन है आज पूरे किए हैं, और जो वचन में नहीं दिया था वो भी काम हमने यहाँ पे लाए हैं. इसीलिए लोगों में उत्साह है, और लोगों का पिछले 25 साल से कार्यकर्ता बोल के यहाँ के सभी लोगों के साथ मैं काम करता था, चाहे फिर वो मेरे पार्टी का हो, मेरे पार्टी का नहीं हो. अगर ईश्वर ने मुझे काम करने की ताकत दी है, तो वो ताकत मैंने उन गरीब से गरीब लोगों को मदद करने के लिए यूज करनी चाहिए. उस हिसाब से मैं काम करते आया हूँ. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये मुद्दा जरूर, जिस तरीके से मैंने विकास किया है पिछले 5 साल नहीं बल्कि कई सालों से जो मैं सेवा करता आया हूँ, उसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए मुझे लगता है कि हिस्टोरिकल मार्जिन से हम ये चुनाव जीतेंगे.
पहला सवाल मैंने आपसे इसलिए पूछा ये वाला क्योंकि शरद पवार पर्ली में आए थे, उन्होंने जनसभा की, और शरद पवार इस बात का जिक्र बार बार कर रहे हैं कि मेरी पार्टी तोड़ दी गई. उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि जब आपको बहुत जरूरत थी तो उन्होंने आपकी मदद की, उसके बाद उनकी पार्टी टूटी, और कुछ लोगों के सर पर सत्ता का नशा है. इसका जवाब कैसे?
देखिए, एक बात तो सबसे पहले मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि मेरे जैसा एक व्यक्ति जो कार्यकर्ता है, उस कार्यकर्ता को कोई भी जिम्मेदारी मिली तो उस जिम्मेदारी कभी मेरे दिमाग में हवा बोल के नहीं जाती है. दूसरी बात ये कि जिस तरीके से अनैसर्गिक चीजें 2019 में हुई, एक तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी और शिवसेना को जो एक साथ लड़ते हुए महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने उनको क्लियर मैंडेट दिया था कि उन्हें सत्ता में बैठना है. उसके बाद जिस तरीके से राजनीति हुई, वो राजनीति किसने की ये पूरे देश और विश्व को मालूम है कि महाराष्ट्र में उसके बाद जो राजनीति, फिर शिवसेना को बीजेपी से हटा के फिर एनसीपी को एक ग्रुप, उस एनसीपी को बोला गया कि आप बीजेपी के साथ जाओ, फिर वहां से विड्रॉ कराओ, और फिर शिवसेना का सीएम बना के कांग्रेस के साथ अलायंस करा के एनसीपी, ये सारी चीजें महाराष्ट्र की जनता को मालूम है. अब मैं ये मानता हूं कि अब इस तरीके से बोलना कि यहाँ मेरे चुनाव क्षेत्र में आके कि कहीं ये जो पार्टी आज जिस तरीके से एनसीपी टूटी है, तो वो एनसीपी टूटने का कारण मैं हूँ. अब मैं तो इतना बड़ा नेता हूँ नहीं. हमारे नेता आदरणीय दादा एक मंझे हुए राजनीतिक है और बहुत संवेदनशील राजनीतिक है. और मुझे लगता है कि वो भी और उनके साथ बहुत सारे सीनियर जिन्होंने आदरणीय पवार साहब के साथ बहुत सालों तक काम किया, वो सब भी उस समय पार्टी के साथ अजीत दादा के साथ खड़े रहे। आज वो भी मंत्रालय संभाल रहे। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि कोई सत्ता में गया तो उसकी हवा चढ़ी।
This time it's a battle between the warring factions of the NCP in the Padli Assembly constituency and the Mundes, who were once electoral adversaries, are today on the same side, taking on the Mahavikas Aghadi. We're now joined by Pankaja Munde, who actually needs no introduction. But talking about the Maharashtra Assembly Elections 2024, she's also the star campaigner of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you very much for joining us. How's your campaigning going?
Campaigning is going very well, very hectic though, but response is tremendous, and it gives very happy vibes, and it gives us the positive direction that we are quite positive about the results.
It always happens that there's a comparison between the previous election and the current election. What do you have to say about what happened in Lok Sabha, and whether or not do you see that happening this time? Is there going to be a change in the voting pattern since it's assembly elections?
See, every election has its own developed voting pattern. So I feel that this parliamentary election was very unique. In this election, we could not estimate the reaction of public because it was totally a different scenario. And now we are quite used to certain things, what the narratives can be made. Secondly, there was fake narrative used by our opposition that they will change the constitution and etc. So we now know what kind of allegations they will make. So we are quite prepared that way. And this unique situation we dealt with already in Lok Sabha. So now we can handle it better in assembly elections.
Do you believe the intensity of the Maratha quota agitation somewhere has reduced now and won't be a factor or won't impact the elections, the assembly elections?
I feel that was not making effect in whole state. It was certain areas, certain regions were affected by it. Definitely it is going to be changed in assembly election because also people have seen government approach towards it, and they know what is the outcome, most possible outcome going to come. So they also feel that if positive narrative is said by government, the trust of Maratha Samaj can be gained by us.
The stage is set for a high-stakes battle in Maharashtra. But when one comes to cover the local politics, you can be excused for taking a little time out to explore the local flavors of the region. Like I always say, food tells you a lot about the people, about the region. And in Pune, it's time for us to charge our batteries. By that I mean to eat up all this food. This is the typical traditional Maharashtrian thali, and the items on my plate are what Punekars eat in their day-to-day life. We have here Radhika. She runs this place, is the owner of Hotel Shreyas. Radhika Chitre, tell us what's in your traditional thali.
Yes, so just to give some introduction, this place was started by my grandfather in 1966.
Oh, so 56.
So yes, 58 years to be precise, and so we are the third generations who are running this place, and we are trying to keep the same tradition, same local feel to all our dishes. So that is what our challenge is, to keep the brand name and to keep the taste same that was there before, like 58 years before.
You know, I absolutely agree with you. You need to keep your traditions alive. How do you otherwise pass it on to your generation? So Radhika, please take us through what all is there in our plate.
Yes, so the typical Puneri dish that people really like about us is this Aruchi Patta Bhaji, which is a green leafy vegetable. Colocasia leaves is what is called in English. This is Sol Kadi. This is Akha Masoor, which is a spicy vegetable that we serve, because most of the other dishes in typical Puneri or Maharashtrian cuisine are on the little bit of sweeter side.
Okay.
So to have that spicy one.
So this is the spicy one.
Yes. So in each meal we have a spicy vegetable which is from the northern part of Maharashtra, because there people do eat spicy food. Yeah. So this is akha masoor usar. This is dahi vada. We have cutlet, kobichi bhaji. We have chola usar. We have, this is another dish that is like our trademark. This is like chinsa gudachi amti.
Chinsa is tamarind,
yes,
and gur is jaggery.
Yes. So this has sweet and sour taste, and the goda masala which is used in this is our trademark. So
Goda masala is what people use in Pune?
Yes. So that is a typical masala which is used in Amti, Puneri Amti.
Okay.
And then we have puri, pori, we have koshimbir. We also now, for the young generation, they or the kids, they don't like to eat pori bhaji and the stuff that they eat at home. So we have some kind of side dish which is interesting. So we have SPDP, or we have pani puri like what we have today.
Radhika, I can't wait for you to get to the star of this thali. I want you to tell us about this huge modak, and everybody knows this is a modak right here. I can't wait to take a bite.
Yes, please do have it.
Tell us about this modak, and beautiful looking modak is soon going to enter into my tongue.
So this is another delicacy, very much Maharashtrian. It is made up of jaggery and coconut. And the rice, the outer cover is from the rice flour.
And it is steamed, right?
Yes, it is steamed. You can start with that.
Let me start with that. I'm so used to eating modak only during Ganpati festivals, because that's when it's made. You're invited to people's house.
It all through the year.
Oh,
yeah.
It becomes a rare delicacy. It's mind blowing. This is too good. We've added soup on top of that, right?
Yes, you have to have it with ghee.
Ghee. It's called soup in Maharashtra.
Yes.
So after the modak, tell me, where should I start from?
You can start with, if you want to have the cutlet, to have a small bite. And then we also have a masale bhat which will be served later, and we also have sada varan bhat.
And masale bhat is to be had with the aloo vadi?
Yes, aloo bhaji.
Aloo bhaji, okay.
Bhaji. So either tomato sar or aloo bhaji. So we have it alternatively.
Alright, so let's dive in. Let's start our thali. Please let us eat in peace.